All right, guys. So in this assignment, we were given a budget that we could use. And this is what I did with my budget. So first off, the vendors, since I already work as a librarian while I am getting my license, there's a lot of vendors that we already use. I pretty much just copied that for vendors as far as the books, the furniture, and the supplies and decor. The marker space and technologies, I did have to find a few different ones, but a lot of the books and furniture stores also sold that stuff. So it was pretty easy to do. So the first thing I would buy is a color changing light table. This is from Lakeshore Learning. It's about $500. And I would buy this because my school has started two pre-K 4 classes, and I don't have a lot of makerspace stuff that doesn't revolve around technology. And a 4-year-old really can't work technology that well. So that would be the first thing that I bought for my little ones. I would also then go to the other scale and upgrade my fourth and fifth grade technology with some pretty cool coding robots. I think my fourth and fifth graders would just love those. And Stimfinity had this one, and it was a pretty decent price. I would also get some stuff for science, and genetics is always such a fun thing to study in science. So I would definitely grab this genetics enrichment camp. It looked like it had a lot of cool add ons. And then I would get a 30 port charging station. Right now, I don't have any devices in my library. If I want my kids to have their devices, they have to bring them from class. All of my students have one-to-one devices in their classrooms, but I would kind of like to have a nice charging station or even my own set one of these days so that they don't have to carry them all across the school. This is probably one of more expensive ones. This one's personalized to my current library. I have a really old library. It got set up back in the 80s, and I literally only have bookshelves along my walls. I have nothing in the middle of my floor. And I would love some seating that could also work as storage and books. I'd put them in the middle of the library and the kids would be able to sit there. I think that would just be awesome. This is one of my more expensive purchases, but I think it is totally worth it for my unique situation. I would also buy 4 of these and kind of again put it in the middle. Give it something in the middle instead of just having those bookshelves all along the edge. I would love this idea. Personally, I would love to have this because I have this really weird pole literally in the middle of my library that does absolutely nothing. It's got a couple ports on it to plug in some extension cords. Otherwise, there's just this random pole in the middle of the room. I think if I got 4 of these and surrounded it, it would look really cool. And then getting into the books that I would get. So I love graphic novels. I encourage my kids to read them, but sometimes I just wish my graphic novels covered a little bit more than just Dog Man in comic books. So the Courageous Kids one has a couple really good stories about different people in history. So I definitely get that set. Followed by this one, Deadly Expeditions, again, expanding into the history and still keeping that graphic novel feel. And then expanding into science, Max Axiom is actually a really good book. I have 2 of his books and they just fly off the shelves. So I definitely get those 3 to expand my graphic novel section so that we had more educational choices. And then, of course, I would get this wonderful Dimco book repair kit. It has a little bit of everything, and I just think that is so important because those kids are going to be so rough on those books this year. And then going back to my pre-K 4-year-olds, I think these storytelling puppets would be just adorable. And of course, everyone loves the classic fairy tales. So I would pick up one of these for those guys. And then again, switching right back up there to my upper grades. Science, 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 getting some more STEM, updating and upgrading their makerspace centers. I would get this set. It looks awesome. And then for borders, I love the outdoors. I think these little tents and these little animals are just adorable. I would love to have them in my room. They match my theme perfectly. And then we're going to hit some social emotional learning for my little ones. This probably goes up to about second grade. The little red dot is awesome. If you have never had the opportunity to learn with it, I would definitely pick up a set. They cover stuff really well and they explain it in a way that people can really understand, especially our little ones. And then again, my pre-K fours and my kindergartners would probably like this, a sand and water table. I actually have a really nice patio in front of my library, and we could easily do stuff with this. And out of my $10,000 budget, I would have wound up spending $9,853, which I don't think is really bad for everything that I had picked up. No, I don't. I think that's pretty good. And then here are my resources. All righty, there we go. Thank you, thank you. Oh, wrong button.